Yeah, that's me for sure. All right, welcome YouTubers. My name's Dave, like always. And you found Do It Yourself, Do It Right. And well, it's another 2-week rental review. And Enterprise, they decided to spiff it up a bit. They gave me another Ram. They gave me a Ram 1500 SST with, that's right, the Rebel package. And what does that mean? Well, that means it's got twin turbos under the hood. It's an inline 6 with twin turbos. It's pushing 400 and something horsepower. I gotta look up the specs. So let's do a walk around. Let's start right here in the back. I mean, look at this.
God damn.
It's looking pretty good back here. The Rebel package, you know, I never really paid too much attention to the Rebel package before. Just don't really see them that much. This thing, I don't have to say, this thing looks pretty good. I mean, she's got some good old Wrangler, Goodyear Wranglers. Look at the meat on this thing.
That's what she said.
By the way, I'm like the 4th person to rent this truck, and somebody already put some marks in the bed. Wasn't me, Enterprise, it was somebody else. If you caught my last review, I did, it was a Ram, it was a 1500, it had the Laramie package. So you guys can already figure out that I like the truck. So this video is not going to be more about the truck, it's going to be more about the package. Yeah, I said it. It's about the package. Let's be honest. I mean, it just looks cool. I'll get into the old specifics once I do some more research. But this thing's got a lot of bells and whistles. It's rather nice. I'm not gonna pretend like I don't like the truck, because the other video I did like the truck, but I like this one this much more. So let's get into the package. All right, so what do you get with the Rebel? Well, you get the cool decal on the back. You can get it with the cool decal along the bottom. It just blacks the bottom out. I believe it comes to about right there-ish. This is what they call the monotone paint. There's a dual tone when you get that, and it's another sticker, whatnot. But mostly on the outside, it's the suspension, tires, rims and tires, and an appearance kind of package. You also get the cool hood louvers. Yeah, these things cool here. It's all blacked out in the front. You get your tow hitches, you know, all of the good stuff. It's this one, I believe, has the mirror blinkers added to it. But those are options you can get in other trucks also. Mainly the Rebel package is the suspension, rims, tires, decals, and the cool stuff on the hood. Now inside this sucker, it's pretty, I'm not gonna say it's loaded, because it is missing it's missing some of the major packages, but it is nicely equipped. So if you guys don't mind some of my junk in the trunk, you know what I mean. Yeah, we're talking about rear ends and junk in the trunk in this video. That's great. All right, so this one does have the two-tone interior. Super nice, man. It's nice and plush. It's soft. It's not really hard plasticky. I mean, this is hard plastic, and cup holders and whatnot. Ooh, that's kind of rubbery. Oh, that's crazy. I didn't even notice that. This thing's got foldable mirrors, obviously mirror control, just like everything else. Just really, everything just feels nice. And then on the inside here, you got your Rebel seat. If you recall last video, I had Laramie across here. It's kind of nice that they do this stitching in here. It's really nice feel, nice touch. You can get full leather seats. This is like vinyl with, you know, whatever. But it's they're super nice. They're comfortable. Let me hop up in here. I'm a little vertically challenged. You can get running boards. I'd get running boards. Something like I said, I'm a little vertically challenged. Yeah, I gotta kind of like do the high jump in here. All right, so center console is much like the other one. Same thing, you know. Got here, opens up. You got a giant cavernous thing down here. All that, you know, your powers. Lots of storage. Let's slide this back. Now your phone sits right here in these cool little things. The other truck had that. I didn't talk about them. But this one has a wireless charging station. Truck probably has to be on for it to work. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Slide your phone there. You got power here just like the other truck. But this is like, whoa. Let me go ahead and get this baby powered up. I don't know, accept, sure. Software update, yeah, sure. I'm not doing any of that. It's a rental, as you can see, no smoking. Let's go ahead and open up my Android Auto so you get the full experience. Let's go ahead and mute it. I mean, look at this screen, boy. Super nice. I have to say, the thing that I like about it is it's got all the controls down here. You know, like comfort, and it's got vehicle controls. You can do the camera while you're driving, rear view. Let's turn that on because, you know, because work.
Oh, God damn it!
There we go. All right, I don't know if you can really tell. Look how detailed that camera is. Super nice camera. They turn with the steering wheel. Super nice. A lot nicer than my Nissan. You can even zoom in. See that? Look at that. That's cool. So let's get out of there. Then you got apps. You can look at off-road pages and whatnot. This is nav. This is really cool. I mean, look at how giant that screen is for your navigation. Let's go back to my Android Auto. See, this is what I use for my Android Auto for navigation. And it's just that size. You use the navigation in the truck, and boy, look at the size of that navigation. The thing that I like about the screen is that it's not just, you don't just have screen controls, you also have controls out here on the side. Like your mode, your fan, auto. This is all your heating and AC buttons over here. You got your, of course, gonna get a phone call in the middle of this. Let's see who it is. Hello? Hello?
Hi, this is Nick from State. How are you?
Who are you?
I'm doing good. So we're calling today because we're having a massive discount up to 40% for your current home. Are you with State Farm, Geico, Progressive right now?
I'm not interested. So there you go. You can hear how well the phone works. Back to what I was saying. You know, you still got all your buttons over here. Volume, change your radio. It's not just the screen with buttons. You also have hard buttons over here, which I like. All right, let's come down here. This is your dial. Now this is what I don't really like about the truck, but it is what it is. You got your 4-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low, neutral. This is your auto start on and off. That kind of sucks. All your good, your axle lock. This thing does so much stuff. It's unbelievable. Look at over here. I want to show you the driving modes. Hopefully I can get the camera and the screen at the same time. So driving modes, look up here, folks. Snow, tow, sport, sport mode, turns traction control off and all that good stuff. We got mud, you know, we got it auto. In auto, it basically it senses what it needs to do. Better explanation is it senses if you're on pavement or you're on the dirt or in the mud or in the sand. It basically adjusts for itself. And when you do that, it also adjusts four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, blah blah blah. So you can put this thing in sport four-wheel drive and go, wow, get them twin turbs going. I'd show you them, but you really can't see them that great. It's kind of a bummer. They should be like, you know, Cletus and put them out in the open where you can see them and you can hear the psh. But you know, this is not that cool, but it's still cool. What else? What else in here? Oh, I forgot to show you the cool little compartment. Boop. And it says Rebel. The Laramie that I just reviewed, it didn't have the auto lights, the auto dimming, high beams, low beams. This one has that. It's one big giant package, and I've been looking online, and most of them have this package, and then there are several other packages that you can add to it, just to make it even that much nicer, but it also makes it that much more expensive. So what am I going to do for 2 weeks? Well, I'm going to drive it. I'm going to hammer down on these twin turbos, because the other one had a Hummer. The other one had a Hemi, and I really liked that Hemi. So the twin turbos, or this engine, the inline six with the twin turbos, it doesn't have that same growl, but it has the peppiness. It's a little different. It's a little, you know, little different. I'm not used to the turbos. So let's do a little exhaust sound for you. Let me start it back up. Let's go to the back of the truck so you can hear what I'm saying. It doesn't have that. It has the I'm a 6-cylinder sound, but it doesn't have the turbo psh, psh sound, so it's kind of misleading. The truck looks badass, just kind of missing the sound to go with it. So like I said, I'm going to drive it for this week. I'm going to let you know how, I'm going to let you know how it drives compared to the Laramie, and then we'll have another video. So let's drive it for a couple of weeks and enjoy, because I really like the looks of this truck. All right, guys, well, my time with this truck is quickly coming to an end, which is sad, but my time with this new t-shirt and hat just starting. Finally got them in the mail. You too can have one of these shirts and hats, or a different kind of color, or different kind of shirt with different color, or a hoodie. You know, there's a link in the description below where you can go and buy some merch. And you know, enough of a shameless plug for some clothing. Let's see, I'm not going to go over likes and dislikes. If you guys want to see a full review on a Ram truck, check out this video. Link over my head. The last truck that I had, the last truck I rented, I did a review on it. I like the truck. So this truck, after having about a month of seat time between that truck and this one, both Rams, different, you know, packages. This is a Rebel, obviously, and the other one was a Laramie. So I've come up with a couple of gripes. And what I mean by that is just, you know, little things that are bothersome, but it doesn't make me not like the truck. There's a couple of issues with this truck in particular that if this was my truck, it would already have been back to the dealership, because a couple of the issues are rather bothersome. So let's get into it. So this first gripe, and by gripe I mean we're talking first world problems here. We're getting pretty nitpicky. But if you're going to spend $65,000 on a truck, you would expect this stuff not to be an issue. And what I'm talking about is the steering wheel. Let me get this thing started. I think I gotta put my foot on the brake. So we're gonna play a game of can my leg reach. All right, so when you're driving down the road and you're only moving the steering wheel oh so much, you don't really notice. But when you're in a parking lot and you turn the wheel, you hear that? You know what that is? That's the hard plastic of the steering wheel rubbing on the hard plastic of the steering column. And you can see this right there. See all that plastic rub right there? See that whiteness? Kind of rubs around. The two plastics are rubbing together, you know, basically wearing each other out. And this truck has, well, now it has 2775 miles. 2,775 miles. I am literally the second person to rent this truck. So unless the first person to rent this truck really hammered on it and messed up the steering column, that came from the dealership that way. That came from Ram. And so 2775, that's how many miles on it. My next gripe, specific to this truck, is that when you are going down the road at 70 miles an hour, you let your hand off the steering wheel and this thing is darting to the side of the road. It wants to go right. It's not a NASCAR. It's not going left. It's going right. It's going right. The whole time driving to and from Griffin, which is up I-16. Straight shot, boring road, annoyingly boring. As soon as you let off the wheel, this sucker is going hitting the rumble strips, just going hitting the rumble strips. So that's two gripes, which leads me to like the big gripe, and that is, you know, Ram and Jeep and all these other brands, they were taken over by a company called Stellantis. And the first thing Stellantis did was they started cutting corners. They started cutting quality. They started cutting people's hours and times, trying to save money. Why are they trying to save money? Well, it's because they're not selling these trucks. They're not selling Jeeps. They're not selling Wagoneers. They're not selling anything. So you're talking about a $65,000 truck that has two major issues right from the dealership. Now again, unless the guy that had it before me really hammered down on this truck, which I doubt it, which I doubt that he messed up the steering wheel. Now, he might have knocked it out of alignment. I don't know. But it definitely needs alignment. When I drop this thing off later today, I'm going to tell him, be like, hey man, I would not rent this thing out to anybody else because it goes right. Now, this truck does have the big Wrangler tires on it. It's got the meaties. They're meaty. They're brand new. Look, they're still blue. That's how new it is. They're still blue. And this thing is going right as you're going down the interstate. So that's two gripes, and that's, to me, I'm guessing it's quality coming out of the manufacturer, coming out of the production line, which, by the way, if you look up anything about these newer vehicles, these newer Dodges, newer Daimler, Chrysler, Stellantis, whatever the hell you want to call them, they're all, you know, put them all together. That's it's one of the issues, is the quality. Apparently, they're getting Wagoneers, $100,000 Wagoneers off the assembly line and they're leaking water. They're leaking sunroofs, the windshields are leaking. I mean, just lots of problems. When I came across this, I was going down the road and I was like, what is that? What is that noise? I'm turning the steering wheel. What is that? So I was like, oh, what the heck? So I got a lot of time on my hands when I'm in the hotel room. So I started reading, started searching more YouTube stuff. And it's a big issue. And this truck has 2 quality issues. So it's going to lead me to 2 more minor gripes. And these are these are minor. So both of these gripes have to do with the center console. I love the space. I love how much storage room there is. I love all that. I love this little thing that slides back and forth. But my one gripe is, and you probably just saw it, is this little sliding tray thing here. It only has 2 locking positions. All the way forward and then all the way back. Like, it doesn't lock back there. Or I shouldn't say all the way back, but it goes back all the way to there. But then you try to close this and it hits your drink. Like, what kind of engineered that craziness? So you got that locking position there and you got that locking position there. So my main gripe is when it's all the way forward, trying to get your phone in and out of here, it's kind of a pain, okay? It's too far forward. It needs to be locked like right there. Got plenty of room, right? Plenty of room. You got these buttons that are kind of in the way, but you got plenty of room, okay? So locks forward, locks right there. There should be a locking spot in the middle here, okay? Like I said, first world problems, but it's something that would be nice. You'd be like, oh, yeah, look, it's got all these little locking spots. The second problem, and with this truck, now your truck might not have it, but this truck does. And when a truck has an option, it has a feature, I want the feature to work, and I want it to work right. I don't think that's, too much to ask. It's a $65,000 truck, brand new. When you take your phone and you put it in this little charging station down here, let me turn the truck on again. This is a wireless charging station, which is a wonderful idea. You can't really see, but it's a wonderful idea. You put your phone down in here. You don't have to plug it in. It's supposed to start charging. Notice how I say supposed to start charging. It's not working. My phone is at 69% and it's not charging. Now, sometimes when you set it down there, it'll start charging and a little blue light pops in right here. There's a little blue light right there. But sometimes it'll start charging and you'll drive, and then it'll stop charging, and then it'll start charging, and it'll stop charging. The whole time your phone is making this beeping noise, at least mine does. Mine makes a beeping noise, and then sometimes it doesn't even charge. What is that? I have no idea what that is. I don't know why it does that. Not a clue. But it does it. And I'm glad that it just didn't, when I just did it, I'm glad that it didn't turn on, because if it did and didn't have an issue, you guys probably be like, blah, 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 that's not it, blah, blah, blah. But you just saw it. It's an issue. It's you got all these power outlets, and I could plug in a wire and plug it into my phone and be good, but if it has the option, I want the option to work. And I want it to work right. I mean, is that too much to ask? Is it really? Is it? I don't really think so. So those are two. I mean, you could add that to the quality of the vehicle, I guess. It's just not working the way it's supposed to. But whatever. The very last gripe, and again, it's specific to this truck, And it's really not a gripe, it's more of just a preference, I guess. I really like the inline 6-cylinder with the twin turbos. They're cool, it's fun. Put this thing in sport mode and it'll go. 400 and whatever horsepower. You get going down the road. But when you get going down the road, you don't have the visceral sound of something like you're going down the road other than the wheel going. So what I mean is the exhaust note, it just doesn't have one. It's non-existent. It's just, it sounds like a V6 car. It doesn't have a growl, doesn't have really anything, but you'll go. So that's it's definitely a gripe. I don't think they can make it sound any better because of really what it is. It's inline 6, so you know, you don't even get the turbo noise. You don't get the psh, which would be cool, but you don't get that either. So that's, to me, that's a gripe. If I was to buy this, I would probably buy, you can't get a 2025 with a V8. Just so you guys know, you cannot get that. It's only this engine now, and they make 2 versions. They make this one, which is the lower horsepower. They make a higher horsepower. Of course, you're gonna pay the money for it. They don't make a V8 anymore. So 2024 and below, you can get a Rebel with a V8. So if I was to buy one of these, I'd definitely go for the Rebel with the V8. But I'm not gonna go for one of these because they're expensive and I'm rather cheap. So, all right, I think that's all. So if you like these kind of videos, like, tag, share, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and like always, till next time, thanks a lot. What I like, this right here, this Hemi, maybe not the E-torque part, but the Hemi 1500. I like the power, I like the sound, I like the giddy up and go that this thing possesses. You know, you step on it, you're going. Start it in the morning, sounds good. Got a nice little rumble to it. You know, it's a stock exhaust.